As a designer, it's extremely important to understand color, so we need to focus in on the color wheel and also the different color schemes that can come out of putting colors together. We're going to start in Illustrator by making a new file, and we're going to name this last name, first name, color wheel. You're going to have 11 inches by 8.5 inches, and you're going to increase your artboard from 1 to 2. Okay, something important to know about artboards when you have multiples. You need to activate the one that you want to work on. So this one is activated right now because it's been selected, and then also this black line shows you that that artboard is on. If I switch artboards, you can tell that the line now switches. This is important because when I hit Command R to turn on my ruler, the ruler is set to this specific artboard. If I switch, the ruler changes. So make sure you're on the left one to start. The first thing we're going to want to do is find the center to this artboard. You're going to take your selection tool, place it onto the ruler, drag it across, and go to 5.5 and drop. You're going to come from the top, you're going to drag down, and you're going to go to 4.25. So here's 4.5, here's 4.25. Your ruler might look a little bit different than mine because of the way that I'm zoomed in. Everybody's will look different. You're going to go ahead with your view menu and go to your guides. Your guide will look like this. You're going to go ahead and lock your guides so that I cannot move these, I cannot delete them. Nothing can be done to these guides. They're protected. Let's grab our ellipse tool. We're going to make our first ellipse. It's going to be 0.8 by 0.8 inches. Make sure that it just has a black outline. It can have a fill color too, because we're going to go back and add colors, but it's more important that you at least have a stroke on it so you can see. You're going to place it on the top, about 1/4 inch maybe down from the top. And now instead of having to hand place all of these circles, I'm going to use something called the rotate tool. The rotate tool can be placed right in the center. Holding the Option or Alt key, you're going to click down. You can preview what it'll look like, and the most important button you have to push is right here. You have to hit copy. If you don't hit copy, nothing will happen. And now Command D 10 more times. Okay. So we're going to make sure that we keep with the same pattern that I have and placement of our primary colors. So the first circle that you create is going to be red. If you have 2018 or older, your properties panel will pop up after you've selected your first circle. You can come here and click on your fill box. You can switch to swatches, or you can switch to the paint mixer or color mixer. I'm going to start in this section because actually all my primary and secondary colors are listed right here for me, so I don't have to go and find them. I'm going to select red. I'm going to select yellow. And I'm going to select blue. Okay, where do we place our secondaries? We place them directly in between these two colors because these two colors make up our secondary color. So I'm going to choose orange. I'm going to choose green, and I'm going to choose violet. Violet, purple, same thing. Okay, now as far as the intermediate colors go, you want to use the color mixer instead. So you can go ahead and click on the color mixer and then head more towards your red-orange. So it's going to be redder than a regular orange and have a little bit of yellow in it. So you want to try to find that nice red-orange. This one's going to have more yellow than red, so I need to head more towards the yellowy oranges. This one will have yellow-green, and you can see it really well on this rainbow spectrum. It makes it easy. So blue violet is violet, but it has more blue. So make sure you're heading more towards the blue area. I find violet to be one of the hardest colors to match. It's not an easy color, so it might take a couple tries. See, that's too purple. All right. And last but not least, red violet. So you're getting into more of the pinky areas. Okay, this is perfect. Now what we need to do is we need to create this key down at the bottom. This is going to show us on this color wheel where the different color schemes are. So we're going to go in this order. We're going to start with complementary, triadic, analogous, and split complement. So I'm going to take my type tool. I'm going to click down. I think a 12 size font might be a little small, so maybe go to about 18. And let's see if it fits. Complementary. Okay, that might be a little big. Let's go down to 14. We can always move these. That's the nice thing about this. I'm going to go ahead and deselect it. I'm going to select my text tool again, because again, I can move these words individually if I deselect them and I don't type them like a paragraph. Next one is going to be triadic. So let's type triadic. Tri meaning 3. Next, don't worry that they're overlapping. I always seem to misspell that word, so let me just double check. Analogous. Okay. And last one is going to be split complement. Split complement. Okay. So let's make these pretty, because even though we're just typing, we still want to make this look like a designer made it. Okay. You need to think like a designer. So you want all of these aligned side by side. If it doesn't fit, you can always move them over. So I'm going to actually select all of them together and move it over to the side. I just need enough room to actually create lines. So we're going to start by creating our lines. We're going to choose a stroke color. You guys can pick whatever colors you want. My complementary color scheme is going to be pink. And I can increase my stroke size to about maybe 2 so I can see it. And I'm going to line it up right with my word. Okay, now I don't want to have to recreate this, so I'm going to hit copy, Command C, Command F, hold Shift, come down, line it up where you need it to go, start again, Command C, Command F, hold Shift, Command C, Command F. And then all I have to do is come in here and change the colors to whatever color I want. Try to make them different so that they show up differently on the chart. Okay, complementary colors. Complementary colors are 2 colors that are opposite each other on the color wheel. I want to grab this line. So when I click on it, the color ends up coming into my stroke panel. You can turn off your guides if you want, just so it's easier to see where you're going. Hold Shift. Okay. Triadic is colors that make a triangle on the color wheel. Click on the line that you made before, grab your line tool, I can't put start a new line here, so I'm going to go ahead over here with the Shift key held down, and I'm going to connect these. Okay. I'm going to select my analogous line. Analogous colors are colors that are next to each other on the color wheel, 3 colors or more. So I'm going to just create kind of a quick little guide for myself. Try to make it look professional and neat. Okay. And then next, the last one is going to be the split complement. So I'm going to take my selection tool again, grab my purple, and then I'm going to head towards from blue to orange, which are typically complementary colors, and then I'm going to split. And when I split, it takes the two colors that are next to its complement. And just come in and clean up your lines. You can even take your direct selection tool and connect the anchor points. And that is our board number 1. Stay tuned for part 2 and I'll show you how to do the other side.